diva emotions, about your emotions being a diva and what it is when it comes to picking up girls, how to control your own emotions and how you need to think of them and how you got to understand what they really are. First of all, I got to say that, obviously you need to be able to control your own emotions when you're going out in a social space in order to interact with other people, okay? You got to be on top of that shit. But of course, the emotions are an unpredictable, flighty, buzzing around type of thing that you can't control, okay? It could be really good, it could be really bad. More often than not with guys, it gets into a kind of a dull, a negative, kind of a tantrum mode, which is annoying, okay? Thing is though, as a grown man, let me say this very fucking clearly. As a grown man, you can't let your emotions dictate your life, okay? You can't let your inner visceral urges dictate how you live your life. Otherwise, you're gonna go to jail or you're gonna be completely counterproductive and have no respect. Guys can be very, very good at allowing their minds to dictate their emotions, okay? That battle between mind and emotion, guys, grown men, are very good at tolerating and being patient with and like charging through emotional problems and getting on top of it, more so than children, sometimes women, or uneducated people, okay? So you've got to consider your own emotions like a diva, okay? Think of your head as like Simon Cowell or the manager of a band of like the Spice Girls or One Direction or Britney Spears or Miley Cyrus, someone like that, somebody who's a fucking diva, okay? Rhiannon. Mariah Carey springs to mind. And the diva throws fucking tantrums, and the diva is really kind of like the star of the show, okay? What is going to attract people to you is going to be your emotions, the way that you can emotionally connect, the way you can emotionally express yourself. That is basically the powerhouse of all of it. But it's kind of like the manager, your mind, has got to be the one to put your emotions in a good place, okay? Has got to bring the best out of your emotions. But then, when the emotions get put under pressure, it starts having these fucking fucked up diva tantrums that you're gonna start to notice. Now, if, in the case of like, for example, One Direction and Simon Cowell, if the boys from One Direction are misbehaving and making these outlandish demands, and Simon Cowell is like, well, okay, I honor your diva fit. Let's do things your way, you pretty much uneducated, not that talented, not that mature young group of guys. Let's do things your way. Let's cancel a rock show, of 100,000 people at the MCG and cancel all of their tickets. And then everybody who works a part of the infrastructure, the songwriters, the musicians, the logistical people, all of those people don't get paid and their families don't get paid and their kids don't go to school and nobody fucking eats, okay? And our reputation looks bad and we disappoint a lot of other people who came for the emotional experience of you, okay? That's the word there, the emotional experience of you. If you're in a nightclub, if you're talking to girls, if you're on a date and you have an emotional diva fit, you've got to be the fucking manager, okay? And I don't like to use the word pimp when it comes to you talking to girls, but you can pimp your emotions. You can fucking, boom, pimp, bitch slap your diva fucking emotions and tell them to calm the fuck down and remember that your mind is always stronger than your emotions. It's always, okay? They'll rise up, but it's like they need someone to kind of control them and channel them and use them properly. For example, when you're watching videos like this, when you're hanging out with people who are older than you, who can mentor you, friends who are a good influence on you, they are kind of like managers of your emotions as well. They channel them into a good direction. That's why we do seek mentorship and we do self-help and we do self-improvement. Otherwise, our emotions will run fucking wild, okay? Think of Britney Spears. She lost her mind because her diva fits got so much, they got out of control that nobody even wanted to manage her anymore, okay? She's just out of her mind, and probably in that case, drugs, booze, alcohol, financial reasons, they're all to blame for that as well. So if you're in field, I had a student say to me, he's like, that's just how I feel, man. Boo-hoo. Okay, you're a grown man, and if you're in a situation where like your children if you had children and they're not feeling compliant to wanting to go to school or take their medicine or be hygienic, and you take their diva fit more seriously than your management, than your authority, and your understanding of the bigger picture, then you're gonna have some fucking problems, okay? It's gonna be dysfunctional. If you're working, if you're a boss, okay? Anybody out there, to be honest, a lot of people who watch a video like this probably isn't a business owner or a manager of other people, because when you're a manager, you might be in the worst fucking mood ever. You might be tired, sick, jet lagged, hungover, malnourished, or whatever it might be. You might be feeling fucking awful, and you've got to go in there and coordinate and manage staff in order to get them to perform in the way that you need them to, so everybody can make money, you can deliver to your clients, and you can sustain your business. Probably, if you're watching this video, maybe you don't manage other people. You need to, if you're a manager, you've got to go in, and the staff might be in a bad mood, and you've got to, one, bitch slap your own fucking diva emotions, get them to behave at least for a little while longer. Okay, chill out, shut the fuck up, we can relax and let off steam later. Then you've got to extend that and motivate others around you, okay? Whatever. The good thing is, with mentorship and with plugging in to good resources, friends, family, videos, Anthony Robbins, stuff like that, you can control it, and then you can control your emotions. Then what you can do is you can use your emotions to spread good emotions, to tell stories, to connect with people, to validate other people, to appreciate other people, and all those good things, okay? You can use your emotions, you can control the way in which you vent bad feelings, okay? Things frustrate everybody all the fucking time, okay? And if those emotions get out of control, they will diva fit. They will basically collapse and fuck up, and they'll overcompensate and combust, okay? So you need to know how to vent that off by driving golf balls at the driving range, hitting a fucking punching bag, going to the gym, whatever it might be. Yelling in a nightclub, dancing around, whatever it is for you, okay? But rest assured that not only do you need to control your own emotions for yourself, but you need to be a man in other people's lives, okay? You need to be the kind of guy who can control your own emotions enough that you can allow others to lend you their emotions, and you can reassure them, okay? You can be there for them. You can be the big, lump, strong, masculine man in a woman's life, or maybe you've got a subordinate. Maybe you've got somebody who looks up to you. Maybe you've got friends who seek your leadership and your reliability, okay? You've got to be that guy for others, okay? It's not good enough that you can just barely manage your own emotions. You've got to look beyond yourself in a leadership, dashing, provider, exciting, seducer kind of way to reassure others who aren't sure about acts of intimacy, okay? Going on adventures together, having fun together, taking risks together. You've got to be that guy, okay? To control the diva emotions, not just for you, but for many others. And the good thing is about a diva, about emotions, okay? They are very flighty. So they can be whipped up into a positive hype very quickly, okay? So if you understand that if you can control your own emotions, you can help to really excite somebody else in a really good way, okay? That's the biggest benefit of when you get yourself under control. Then you can then manipulate other people in a positive way, okay? In order to get them and seduce them and convince them to do something that they weren't gonna do on their own. For example, go on a date, go skinny dipping with you at the end of the night, do shots with you at the bar, go on a date with you, have a child with you, whatever it could be, okay? You gotta be that leader. I'm sorry that I'm not gonna be there for you as a mentor live in person the entire time. I tell this to my guys on the 4-week natural program, 4weeknatural.com. I'm like, I'm here for some time to be a leader up until a point, and then you've got to take the baton and be I am enough. You've got to be of value, you've got to control your own emotions, and you've got to look to lead the other girls that you meet in the future, and maybe other guys from the pickup community in your context, in your city, and in your environment, okay? So it's not just for yourself, it's for the bigger fucking picture. And I gotta tell you, getting your own emotions under control, basically bitch slapping them and being controlled by positive influences and having other positive influences around you, being a man of influence, okay, and having others look up to you and having others have allegiance to you, that's what every man internally desires, okay? Once you get that control, you're gonna get a lot of loyalty and a lot of privileges when people look up to you. So, getting philosophical, talking about emotions, next time your emotions are playing up, just think of them as a fucking diva, okay? Watch that movie Taken, okay? Where it's a pretty cool movie. It's got Holly Valance and Liam Neeson, and she's like the diva singer, and they try to abduct her. She's not a diva in that situation, but that's the kind of situation that I'm talking about. Think of Britney Spears. Think of your emotions that way, and that they're just silly and immature, okay? You're fucking smarter than that. If you can watch this video, you're smarter than that, so be smarter than that. Work through it, extend it to others, and reap the rewards of intimacy, loyalty, having great people around you, and respecting yourself and the standard that you set for yourself in the world.